Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. You spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You officially on staff.
Dude, this is so cool. Like David, Howard's been kind of like a believer from the start, because it's one thing to like be like, oh, Willy's Wonderland is cool, you know, like now, but it was not cool a year ago when Howard was like, hey man, this sounds pretty awesome. So Howard, thank you from like, yeah, just being like kind of like a fan of it from the you know, almost the get-go. I mean, it means a lot. I totally thank you for it.
Well, it's my pleasure. I mean, I'm just one of the very many people that are just on board. So, I mean, it's on fire right now. I mean, I can't even imagine what you must be feeling like, especially because of the fact that we're going through coronavirus, and this was supposed to come out about a year ago, no, 6-7 months ago, and you've had like this 6 months. So it must have been like, I want to get this out, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we've got another 6 months to tease everybody.
Yeah, you know what? It was like, it was supposed to come out in October. And that was always kind of like the thing. I was so bummed out because it was like, oh, October, Halloween. Everybody's got to go see this for Halloween. It's going to be so great. And then, you know, the coronavirus stuff happened and it shut down everything. I'll tell you a crazy story in a second, but it shut down everything. And I was like, oh man, I think we missed our opportunity. But now I realize, because of all of these other movies, these huge movies, just going, you know what, we're going to sit on the sidelines and wait it out because we want to do the theatrical release. And I understand that completely. But it gave this, it's like a prize fighter who just left his chin wide open. You know what I mean? It's like it gave us this huge opportunity that every kind of confluence just worked together to like just blow up on Friday. And now that it's coming out on the 12th, and there's really not that many other movies, there's like Oscar movies, but not other like movies that are in the stupid Nic Cage fighting stuff genre. It caught everybody's attention, and it's just like, it could not be more of a dream come true. You know, it's so cool.
But I mean, but this experience that you're going through now is cool, but I can't even imagine. I mean, just when I got my interview with Nicolas Cage, I was over the moon. So I can't even imagine what it was like when you got Nicolas Cage on board your film.
So I had done all these plays. Like I was just trying as hard as I could to get any attention anyway. I'm a showman, you know, I like to do plays and acting. I was doing commercials, but I wasn't getting anything out of it. And I certainly was not getting any auditions, and I was not getting any opportunities that way. So what I started to do was I would do my own plays and I would put them up. And it was like that scene in La La Land where Emma Stone like puts up her own play and like literally nobody's in the audience. Like that was kind of my experience. Right. And then I was able to, from there, decide, because what I would do is I'd do like 6 weeks of a play that nobody would ever come to. So I changed it and I was like, let's do one night events. One night, everybody, you know, you'll have to come that night. You'll drag your family or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever, you have to come. And we'd get like 99 seat theater and we'd fill it.
Were those plays similar in theme to this film, or something completely different?
The absurdity of some of the plays were definitely in the vein of Willy's Wonderland. The absurdity of it. Like, you know, it's like they were all kind of comedy and fun. And I think and we can talk about it more, but Willy's Wonderland is this, like, to me, it was always a comedy that I hid under the guise of, this is like a horror movie. Oh, it's going to be so scary. It's going to be so scary. But I think everybody figured it out when Ozzy looks at the camera and goes, oh, that it's really like, it's supposed to be dumb fun. And that's what those plays were. They were dumb fun. Check your brain at the door, go in, laugh, just dumb fun. So that's what those plays were.
Right.
And after the shows, I would always go, you know, after the show was over, we'd all go out into the, you know, the parking lot afterwards. And I had a bunch of friends that would always say like, hey, all these plays are good and everybody digs them. And it's great when you're on stage for an hour, but like once it's over, nobody's going to care. Nobody knows you can, it's like I'm talking to you right now, Howard. I'm saying, hey, they're great, but there's no way to verify that. It happened and it's gone.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, if you wanted to do something, you got to make this movie, you know, you got to make a movie. So I thought, okay, I got to make this movie, but I have absolutely no connections. I have zero money. I don't know really what I'm going to do because I'm not really I've done a bunch of stupid movies, just like, you know, with a camcorder or whatever, but no sort of big production. So I think I love watching B horror movies. It would be awesome to create like a B horror movie, but a really good one, like one that was like designed specifically to know that it was stupid, but not play itself as such.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then I knew that I wasn't going to have like any kind of money to make it, so I kept it in one space, and that's where, that's why like the majority of this movie takes place, 95% of it just takes place in Willy's Wonderland. And then I didn't think that I'd have any like actors or other people in it. So I was like, well, I'll just have a bunch of animatronics, and then I'll be the janitor guy, and I'll set up the camera, and then I'll have a friend or somebody just be in like a suit, and I'll beat that person up, and then I'll do it again.
So when you so when you wrote it, you were thinking about yourself as playing the lead role. Yeah. So you didn't actually write it specifically when you were thinking about yourself in the lead role, not when you wrote it.
No, it to put it in context, it'd be like I play Burbank basketball. It'd be like if I dreamt like I was putting a team together, I had no idea like LeBron James would show up and be our shooting guard. You know? Like, I had no idea. So I had put it all together and tried to get money to raise to do the movie, and it was not working. I was kind of failing at being able to get any money for it, but I got a little bit, and enough so that I had enough to shoot like a very short film. Right. There's some clips of it out there on the internet. It's not very good.
That doesn't matter anymore. You go where you need to go with it.
I'm not telling everybody that publicly. I want it just to be like some legendary thing that's like, oh, this movie, it's lost to time. But it was enough that it got people saw me like punching this bear, and they're like, hey, that's funny. Like, so from there, I kind of reworked the script. And then I started to try and just email people. I was emailing anybody, strangers, doesn't matter. No. Anybody who I thought was connected to a horror movie. James Wan, would you like to read the script? Yeah, exactly. It's like whoever I could send, I would send stuff to, and I would get zero responses. But occasionally one person or two people would reply. And there's a lady named Kaylee Marsh who worked for the Blood List. Right. I think she was drunk, got my email and was like, yes, like send me this thing, whatever. And I was just right place, right time. I sent her the script immediately, and she read it. And she was kind of like all the people on the internet yesterday, was like, oh, I thought this was stupid. This is really cool. And she put it on her website, which is the Blood List. I then used that kind of notoriety and sent it out to more people. It got to a friend of mine, this lady named Venus Kanani, who's a casting director. She's a big casting director in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And she was the one that was like, listen, I know you want to be in this, and I know you want to do all this stuff, and yada, yada. But if you gave it to somebody of consequence, you could have a real movie. Right. And I said to myself in like this, just like the most like, I don't know, egotistical way of like, nobody, like, it's got to be like, it's got to be like Nicolas Cage, or it has to be some sort of movie deity. Otherwise, no deal. Yeah. And so she was like, okay, let's give it to Nicolas Cage.
This place has a dark history. I know the bullshit story they told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice.
As soon as she's like, hey, we can get Nicolas Cage, then I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, yeah, take your shot. So yeah, knock yourself out. I didn't know that Mike, Nicolas Cage's producing partner and his manager. Mike is the one who knew Venus, because listen, there's all these jokes and memes about like Nicolas Cage will take any job. You and I both know that's not true. So Mike said, Mike read it and was like, I think Nick will dig this. This was like a Friday. I got a call on a Monday, and it was like, yeah, Nick wants to make the movie. But okay, that's good. But that's like, you see this on like the Shark Tank all the time, where people get an idea and they like, it blows up. and they don't have the inventory to be able to give out to all their customers. That's kind of what it was like. Was okay, he's in, let's do it, and all of a sudden you're like, can you give me 5 minutes? So that was a scramble to get him in, or to like just to secure everything and to actually do the like logistics of making the movie and not just like the dream stuff. Yeah. But speaking to Nicolas Cage, he read that script and was in immediately because, you know, I think I didn't really think there were that many people that, because people would read it like and just like, why is the janitor not running and hiding? Like, why is this? Why is that? Nicolas Cage got it and immediately knew everything about the script, like more so than myself. He got it immediately. And even in the run up to it getting made, you know, the producers, directors, people tried to like change stuff here and there, and it needed to be changed obviously a little bit because of budget and stuff, but they tried to do some overhauling changes on it, and Nic Cage was just like, no, this is the script that I want to do, this is what we are doing. If you don't want to do that, I'll take my talents elsewhere. And it was like one of the coolest things that anybody, you know, besides Amelia saying she'll marry me, is like the coolest thing that's like ever happened to me in my life, you know, just this guy just as a friend or as a person just saying, no, let's do it exactly how he had it. And if, you know, like you said, in the editing, it changes, budget wise, things change, but like, he has this thing that he talks about, like, I think he calls it like his 8mm feeling or whatever, that feeling of like, just like having fun and just like, you know, making your dream come true and just totally just, you know, having a great ball of it. And that was kind of my experience is let's just have fun and do what we want and like let people see our art.
I'd love to ask you, I mean, when you first spoke to Nicolas, once he'd read the script, without giving anything away, obviously, about the plot-wise, I know he's not a big fan of slasher movies, for example, and this has definitely got some kind of elements of slasher movies in there. Can you tell me a little bit of what he said to you, what really kind of resonated with him so much so that he didn't want you to change anything in there?
Yeah, you know what, here's what I'll say. It's like, you know what he likes? His movies, like where the lead character, or in this case, the janitor, is like a man with an objective or a mission and just wants to get something done no matter what. So like, you got to think of like the Clint Eastwoods, the Man with No Names, like that kind of stuff. He's never had a thing where, you know, he's famous, like what you just said, he's famous for screaming and yelling and singing Hokey Pokey while destroying a pool table. And God, I love it. But I think the thing that attracted him the most, besides the character, was the acting challenge that it presented.
And obviously, you've got all these characters, these different crazy names. I've written them all down there, like Gus Gorilla 99. How much of that? I mean, did you have just the names in the script, or did you have? I mean, because I imagine. I don't want you to give anything away, but I imagine all these different creations, you've got to up the ante with each different thing, because I imagine from the trailer that you've got different kills, you've got to up the ante, and each creation's got to be something completely different to the previous one, no? How much of that was on paper, and how much of that came in the creature design stage?
Okay, so everything was on paper, but the one thing one thing we changed about the script, Nicolas Cage likes reptiles and he likes amphibians. so he was like, hey, let's change a few of these. So there was, like, in the original script, we had like all kind of mammals, and most of them are still in there, but like there's Cammy Chameleon, there's Artie Alligator, you know? So it's like the and then I told you we were like crunched for time. The gorilla, the creature creator had a gorilla suit like built for another project that kind of got scrapped, and he was like, well, I got this one, we can change this one into a gorilla. Done. So like a lot of that was Nicolas Cage wanted a couple of amphibians and reptiles in, and one of the changes was because there was a suit that they kind of already had. But the names and the animatronics, all the stuff, all the other stuff stayed exactly the same. Now, going back, thinking about it, had I known that this would be a huge movie, I probably would have spent more time than going like Gus, Gorilla, Ozzy, Ostrich, and just thinking of stuff that rhyme together. But it is what it is.
Names are like that. When you go to a theme park or whatever, that an amusement park, names they're just top of the head names anyway. So I think it works really well.
I think that works. What works well and then as you were saying about all the kills and stuff like that. Everybody's seen the first kill where he beats up Ozzy. That's been spoiled. But okay, how do you? So that's where I ran into some issues when I was making the script. Is like, how do you up the ante, because we have 8 animatronics and it's going to get boring if he's just going from one to the other and mopping the floor with them. So that's where all the kids came in. I thought to myself, if we put some kids in and the animatronics are just like unbelievably like evil and can kill the kids, then it's going to be kind of fun, because how like the Janitor dispatch is something so awesome. But like if the animatronics take on anybody else loses. Right. Like that's how good they are. And then for Willy, the final animatronic, and I write this in the script, before, again, when I'm just by myself, before it's anything, I write, he's called Wally at the time, but I write, Willy Weasel, like 8 feet tall, 300 pounds. The only thing in the world that's a match for him is a nuclear mutated polar bear. Like I was like, because this is a good one. In every movie that we love, Star Wars, Batman. Okay, Star Wars has Luke Skywalker and it has Darth Vader. Batman has Batman and the Joker. We have like the ultimate hero and we have like the ultimate villain. So if we got the Janitor, who's the ultimate hero, we needed that ultimate villain, which is Willy. So Ozzy's always my favorite. And you can tell from the trailer why. He's super creepy and he captures your imagination. But Willy is like the king of the jungle, the one that had to be that title bout match. So when I was coming up with stuff, I always had him in the background as like the big bad boss. We all agreed day one, the animatronics have to be great. The one thing that I said as far as designing the animatronics was, if you go online, you can look up like horrible Easter bunny photos, and it's these kids, and the kids are sitting next to just like the creepiest Easter bunnies you can imagine. Their faces are matted. The kids are like screaming. And so I was like, when we design the animatronics, they have to look like these like evil Easter bunny characters that aren't supposed to look evil. If you go online, like the people at the Walgreens or the CVS where they're taking the Easter bunny photos, like actually think that costume looks good. Man. And the people that built Willy's Wonderland actually thought their animatronics looked good. So that's what it had to be. It had to be that kind of like, we didn't mean these to be scary, but they actually are very, very scary. And then when you see them, they're 20 years old in the time frame the story has taken place in. So they're weathered, they're beat up, they've been killing people, they're covered in blood, all that kind of stuff just adds to the lore of the place. And really, like I said, they, as much as Nicolas Cage, had to be the star of the show.
Obviously, this is coming out. Everyone's really, really hyped about it. You more than anyone, obviously. But, yeah. But providing it goes down really well, this has all the makings, all the trappings of turning into a franchise, or at least a sequel. No, have you got ideas about that?
I came up with. I did come up with a sequel. It is in my head. It is under lock and key, obviously. Because it's you have to be able. That's the thing, is like, if everybody loves it, it's like everybody's going to want the next one, and who knows if it'll happen. Obviously, there are like a lot of things that are out of my control about it. But, and I'll tell this to everybody, you and anybody that may read this, or if they ask me about it, it's like, you have to be ready. If you want to do something, whatever it is in your life, you got to be ready. You cannot be caught with your pants down or just not, you have to be ready. Okay. So when I saw how many people were liking this, I thought, man, I'm going to need to have it in my back pocket and rest assured, it is there.
And look forward to speaking to you again sometime in the future. All the best.
100%, man.
If I don't speak to you beforehand. Okay.
No, we'll speak beforehand. We gotta get the troops. You're an employee. We gotta make sure that you're freaking ready to go.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, I'll speak to you soon then. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. And
sounds good, Harry.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party everyone. It's birthday time.
I enjoy a man of few words.